I was invited as a guest onto the BBC Radio 5 Live show. Anyway, so John Robbins requested that I cook him a tikka rezala curry, but as he's a vegan, I'll be using tofu. Welcome back to another episode of Al's Kitchen, cooking curry the BIR way. So it's been an interesting week for me this week. Been busy as usual. Apparently John Robbins is a bit of a fan, following me for a couple of months during lockdown. John Robbins requested that I cook him a tikka rezala curry. I'll be using tofu. Now maybe we should all be taking a leaf out of John's book and getting a little bit healthier. So what I've done is I've marinated this in the tikka marinade, the same that I used with the chicken tikka in the video a couple of weeks ago. And the tofu I've used is extra firm, so not so much need to be draining all the water out of it. I'll be leaving the link to the radio interview in the description box below. Check it out, it was great fun. Thanks for having me on the show, guys. So cracking on with the curry, let's get through these ingredients. So I've got 30 grams each of green pepper, red pepper and diced onion. Dice the onion really small so that it melts into the gravy. And we'll be using a teaspoon of my mixed powder. Now I explained a couple of weeks ago that this mixed powder was a restaurant recipe, and it's going to give that restaurant taste, much more so than if you use a mulled madras curry powder that you've bought from the shops. Now if you haven't got all the spices that goes into this, or you can't be bothered to make it, no worries, use mulled madras curry powder that you bought from the shops. It won't be as good, but it will do a job. So we have a teaspoon of the mixed powder there. We also have a teaspoon of black pepper, a teaspoon of Kashmiri red chilli, a tablespoon of ginger and garlic paste, 3 teaspoons of natural yogurt or Greek yogurt, 2 pieces of freshly sliced tomato, and a handful of finely chopped fresh coriander. And not forgetting the 1 tablespoon of tomato puree that's been diluted with water. Now, you're all thinking, what's he drinking this week? So I'll let you know. So it's Old Empire Indian Pale Ale, it's 5.7%. And it is very tasty indeed. So before we commence, cheers. I mean, that's really nice, that. This recipe is 1980s classic that I'm bringing to you today. So let's start cooking. Okay then, so let's start off with the usual regime. Add in the oil. Remember, just add as much oil as that will cover just the inside of the pan. And the first thing we're going to do is put in the garlic and ginger paste. Right, once we've cooked our garlic and ginger, we want to just soften the onion. Now with the onion, we just want to soften it, we don't actually want to brown it. So let's get that down. And now we're going to throw in the red pepper and the green pepper. So how are we all getting on with our curry cooking? I've had a lot of new followers recently, and they're kind of enthralled. Just cook those down for a little bit. So tell me what your favourite curries are. Maybe I'll make a note of it and I'll make the curries. Sometimes even I need ideas. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Press that button, and also don't forget to press the notifications so that as soon as I release a video you'll be first to know. That's coming on nicely. So who's had a Rezala before? Where did you have it and what was it like? So people keep asking me what's my favourite curry. I mean, it does change like music. So, you know, 1 minute you've got a favourite song in the charts and then it changes. So I like a king prawn dansak and equally a chicken tikka dansak. I also love a jalfrezi. I've got a brilliant one on the channel, so go and check that out. Sometimes if I'm not that hungry, I'll go for a madras because there's nothing else in it apart from sauce and the meat. So you can get through that. Right, and now we're going to add the tomato paste. See how easy these curries are to turn out once you've prepped everything. I'll give that a little stir. Let's cook that down for a bit. And yeah, so the dansak, the jalfrezi, madras, garlic chili chicken, that's another one. Sometimes you just need some garlic in your life. And there's nothing better to fulfill that than a garlic chili chicken. Cheers everyone. Happy curry making. If you aren't following me on other forms of social media like Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, do. Some amazing pictures on Instagram. Right, so once we've cooked that out a little bit, just rock the pan. Okay, so now we're going to add the mixed powder, black pepper and chilli powder. So in goes the mixed powder. And do make the mixed powder, it really makes a difference in the curries. It gives you that kind of flavour that you know that comes from Indian restaurants. And the chilli powder. This is Kashmiri, really red chilli powder. Fry that out for a little bit. So there's your masala base. And with the Rezala, something odd. So we're going to cook out the yoghurt. Usually a yoghurt will go in the gravy once the curry is nearly finished. But in this curry, we're literally going to cook the yoghurt out. Adds a sour edge to the curry. Right, so that's it. So that's the spices cooked. And now we're going to throw in the yoghurt. That's that. Right, so that's coming together nicely. That's cooking out just nice. Everything's softening down. And now we're going to add our first ladle of base gravy. I've done a nice big 7 litres worth of base gravy. So I'm going to be eating plenty of curries in the weeks to come. So let's cook that out for a little bit. Right, so when we cook the curries out, all we're doing is literally re-cooking the base gravy again in the pan. And as you know, the longer you cook an onion, the sweeter it gets. And that's basically what we're doing. We're caramelising the onion base gravy. And obviously, if you do an authentic curry, you can obviously sweeten diced onion. But you keep adding water and you're just not going to get the volume of gravy. I mean, us Brits, we love a gravy, don't we? I mean, no doubt you could make a curry gravy for yourself and put it on some chips. Note in previous videos also I've said that when the oil comes to the top, it's an indicator that that batch of gravy is pretty much cooked out. And then it's time to turn in to release the stickiness off the sides. And this is why we use aluminium pans, because they're not non-stick. You want some sticking to occur to achieve the best flavours. Well, I'm going to add my second ladle of base gravy to this. This is a large portion for one, by the way. I mean, they're extra large singles, to be honest. You could probably squeeze 2 curries out of every curry that I do. Right, tofu is quite a delicate thing to cook, so you want to be a bit gentle with it. It's not chicken. You poke and prod it too much and it can fall apart. So, as I said earlier, I've pre-cooked this in a frying pan, touch of oil. I've already marinated this in tikka marinade, and I'm sure it's going to taste amazing for all you vegans and vegetarians out there. Right, so now throw in the 2 fresh pieces of tomato. Just break that tomato down a little bit into the sauce. Throw in the coriander. Turn that in. Oh, it does look amazing. Right, I'm just going to add a pinch of salt. I mean, these things do to taste. If you want a little bit more salt, feel free to add it. And now turn the heat down, because the gravy's cooked out, and now we're going to add the tofu. Be gentle with this. You just literally want to turn it into the gravy. Well, let me zoom in on this. There you go, John Robbins, a nice tikka rezala for you, tofu style. Live your best life, yeah? Cook this. I'll be interested actually, generally, to see how you do it, how it turns out. Right, I think this is ready to plate up. Doesn't that look amazing? Wow, I mean, that just looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the gravy is superb, look at that. Always give the little bowl a shake. Even it up, and now we're going to just garnish that with a tiny amount of coriander. Rezala tofu tikka. Now it's time for the taste test. Right, so you're going to join me to eat, or should we do time lapse? 3, 2, 1. Right guys, the video's nearly done. Thanks for joining me for another week. It's been my pleasure. This curry is sensational, and yes, I will be eating tofu again. All my meat eaters out there, don't forget you can be using king prawn, chicken tikka, lamb, beef even. Don't let the tofu put you off. But for all my vegan and vegetarian lovers, this one's dedicated to you and John Robbins. If you like the video and want to see more content, click subscribe. It's free and you'll help me out. Also click the like button. Apparently it helps YouTube define their algorithms and it shoots me up the viewing figure chart. Every little help. And no, I don't work for Tesco. Right, so I'm out and I'm out of it, but not without these 2 babies.